Hello to the gamers. I know it's been a little while since my last video. There's been a decent amount going on in my life. I've not been feeling the best, physically. I think I was actually sick for a week, and that led me to not at least record the best videos that I could have put out, and then being able to miss one scheduled upload just made me not want to upload. So I'm just not gonna have it scheduled anymore. There's no reason to. This is a hobby. I'm gonna make videos when I want to make them about things that I want to make them about. And I don't want to get worried that, oh no, I missed the upload. So I'm time to like scramble to record something that I'm not terribly proud of. Now the content is mostly gonna stay the same. I'm gonna have a nice variety of, you know, political discussions, philosophy stuff, gaming, general topics like the Reddit stuff, but just not on a set schedule this time. That's all. Now, this video specifically is a bit different. I'm not recording this audio while I'm playing the gameplay in the background because I can't play Black Ops 6 on my PC, and that's really the only place I can record. I'm playing this on my Xbox, and recording it, I guess, through like the console cloud gaming thing on my PC. I just don't want to deal with like the lag and the input when I'm playing it from my actual computer. And since I'm going to be talking about Black Ops 6, I want to have some Black Ops 6 gameplay in the background. So that's why we're doing it like this today. So let's start. I'm going to give my thoughts on Black Ops 6, considering I've played it basically for a week straight since it's come out. I am almost second prestige. I think if I hop on tonight, I will definitely be prestige 2. I think I looked at my stats last night because my friends wanted me to, and I have 26 hours in the game. I completed the campaign. I've played a lot of multiplayer. I've played both zombies maps, mostly on Liberty Falls, not so much Terminus. At least not yet. I will probably play it pretty soon. First off, I'll be talking about the campaign. There probably will be spoilers. I'm not really going to filter myself because I just want to talk about it as a whole. Now, I really actually enjoyed this campaign a lot, more than I expected to. There was a very nice story that I was immersed in, and a bunch of well-developed characters, especially the entire roster, which I wasn't really expecting for a COD campaign. And the thing I think I loved most was the complete variety of the missions that we had. Basically, every mission was different from the previous one, and that was really, really cool. Something I was not expecting. Some of them did not even feel like I was playing Call of Duty. I really wasn't impressed at first. I think the first mission was pretty, honestly, kind of a miss. It was literally just going down a straight path, and I'm like, oh, that's it? That kind of sucks. But, then you get to the second mission, Blood Feud, where you're sneaking through this area. You have to sneak past the guards and then assassinate someone with the sniper rifle. You get the nice animation of the bullet going right through his head. And then you gotta shoot your way out. Now, the next mission was super fun. You're trying to break into this gala where, President, well, not yet President, Bill Clinton is there as a senator. And the amount of player choice that you have in the mission to complete the two objectives however you want was pretty cool. I definitely want to replay that to see the other ones that I could have chosen. And then, of course, it goes into another shootout with the amazing ending of riding on the back of a American flag motorcycle and shooting some bad guys. Classic Call of Duty, but somehow they always seem to make it work. Then the next mission, you're in the desert of Iraq, and it's an open world mission, so you could just do the three objectives, the three main ones, and be done with it. I spent the entire time doing everything in that mission, and I had a fun time. You're just riding around the desert with your buddies on a jeep and shooting some bad guys. I really enjoyed that, and then it plays like directly into the next mission, where you're storming one of Saddam Hussein's palaces, and what you did in the open world mission influences what you do in this mission. You have more equipment, more options, and the music in this was awesome, fantastic. So shout out to, I think his name is Jack Wall, for especially like the music in that mission, but the music overall, Raiding the Fire as the multiplayer theme is amazing. The new rendition of Damned for zombies is great. And then Kevin Sherwood is back for the Easter egg songs, which I think I listened to once. I definitely want to listen to them again, and they're pretty good. So then once you finish the Saddam Hussein mission, you get my favorite mission in the game. You're going through this bioweapons lab, and it really just turns into a level of Bioshock, or something that doesn't feel like COD at all. there's so many trippy sequences, and it honestly, I got jump scared a couple times. It was pretty nice. I think it's controversial apparently. Apparently people really don't like it, specifically for one portion where they bring some zombies into it. But as a zombies fan, I love it. And at one point, they started blasting 115 from Black Ops 1, and hey, I'm not going to say no to that. I loved that. And then, of course, right after this, we go to the casino level, where you're basically doing a heist at a casino. You're going through every single character that you have in the game, and doing a little segment with them. You got to do some, some poker things. You have to do some hacking things, and then, of course, it ends in another shootout. But again, super fun and a really cool environment. I mean, the casino, just the vibes in that casino were amazing. Then you have a really classic Call of Duty level where you're storming an airport, and it's just a pure shootout level, which is nice considering it seems most of the levels in this game were not just that. So, very cool, very nice atmosphere. You're just going through an airport. You drive a tank at some point and just barrel through it, which I thought was super cool. And it's during like one of the, I think, Operation Desert Storm in Iraq. So just like the sheer amount of helicopters and tanks on screen is crazy. Then the next mission is also super cool. Again, it's another mission where you're kind of sneaking around, using dialogue options, doing things kind of however you want. There's multiple ways to do things. You're sneaking around Vorkuta. Yes, that Vorkuta from Black Ops 1. Pretty cool, nice nostalgia, but again, it's just super neat the different ways you can do things. Then, of course, goes into a shootout, and then you're in the finale, which is my only criticism of the game. Kind of. Now the finale is really broken up into two parts. There's the like trippy hallucination sequence, and then there's the shootout sequence, which takes place in the entire mission hub that you've been in the entire game. A nice little house. I think it's in Bulgaria, where every time between missions you've been there, you've been upgrading your guns, you've been talking to your team, and now the last mission takes place. Oh, I'm actually shooting enemies. I have to defend here. But it's also split with the hallucination scenes. Now, it feels a bit anticlimactic, just because I expect my COD campaigns to have a super, insane finale, but they also are expected to be trippy at the same time. I think the hallucination sequence went dragged on a bit too much. It was kind of predictable. You have to, oh, I need to pick up 3 pieces of a mirror, and okay, I did the first one, now I know I have to do this 2 more times. I will say the combat part was fun, though. Defending the house, this is a house you've learned to love. You've been here a couple times, and just using it as a combat arena was very nice. And I mean, the ending, I'm not gonna spoil the ending completely, but pretty nice, I'd say. I think there's also not a cliffhanger. I think people are confused as to there's a character who gets revealed at the end. Some people think it's one character, some people think it's another. But what I think it is, because this is what modern Call of Duty does, is they integrate their campaign endings into the season content and the Warzone stuff, so it probably sets that up. So that's the only reason I don't really like the ending, because I hate how all the new COD campaigns have to tie into fucking Warzone at some point. I just don't like Warzone. God, Warzone killed Call of Duty. That's a whole nother rant for another day. Now, one thing I mentioned, but I didn't really touch on, were the characters. You have your main character, Case. You have Marshall, who's the team leader. You have Sev. You have Woods, obviously. And then you have Felix and Adler. And I thought all these characters played off each other really well. And some of them even had character development and kind of mini arcs, at least. Specifically, Felix, who I think is an ex-KGB agent. And he renounced his violent ways of the past, so that's why he's the hacker of the team. He's the man in the chair. But during one mission, he's actually on the ground and lets his anger out. And you see, he kind of regrets it. There's he's actually talking about, oh, is my pacifist ideology even worth it? Things like that. It was really cool. Probably my favorite character. I mean, of course, I love Woods. There's a nice the way they actually handled his disability of being in a wheelchair now was pretty nice, actually. It gave more heart to the character, considering the next time we see him is in Black Ops 2 in the future scenes. I think it was very well handled, and it was actually used as a plot point sometimes. And sometimes you got to talk to Woods and open up about the whole Mason incident, and seeing oh, I really want to raise his son as my own. And it was just really nice. And all of this came about in the mission hub, the house. which I thought was nice. I think it was a little underused. I mean, of course, there's like a whole like hidden secret within the house. Just like the bunker place in Cold War. It's pretty much expanded. There's more puzzles and things like that. I thought there would be more to it, but it is pretty complex. It's pretty fun. It's pretty rewarding to get through. But I did that like after the first mission, and I thought there would be more like as I progressed through, but there really wasn't, unfortunately. And I thought like more things would pop up between missions that I could do, explore the house. And there's a whole firing range that you don't really use. So I thought that was just a bit underused, but I like the setting. I like being able to talk to the other characters, and the puzzle that you could uncover was actually, it was fun. I overcomplicated it a bit, but I got there in the end all on my own, so I was proud of that. So realistically, if you enjoy Treyarch's campaigns, I would absolutely recommend this. It's pretty much on brand for them. Really like high octane experiences, kind of like a spy thriller, variety of locations, really unique missions, some trippy sequences, maybe a bit too long, maybe the ending was a bit anticlimactic, but all in all, one of the best COD campaigns we've had in a very long time, I would say. And now we get to talk about the multiplayer. Now, I will say, I am having a very, very, very fun time with this multiplayer. The moment-to-moment gameplay, the combat, the movement, the omni-movement is really, really good, and it's like crack to me. I can't go more than a couple hours without playing it. I was like that during the beta. I swear I had withdrawals. It is super fun. However, there's a lot of things within the multiplayer that are trying their goddamn hardest to make it not fun. I mean, right now, I'm still having fun with it, but I could see myself really not liking it in like a month or two. But I could also see myself really loving it in a month or two. It really depends on how it all plays out. Now, I've been playing both with my friends in like a full squad, and I've been playing by myself. Now, I will say, the solo experience is kind of rough. Of course, you have the matchmaking algorithm, which just makes everything super sweaty, and like if I win one game, I'm losing the next 10. You can't really escape it. It's tuned way, way, way lower when you're playing with a bunch of your friends, so it doesn't seem as bad. Of course, it's still there, but that's definitely the preferred experience. I mean, as I said, the movement is very fun. I don't really find myself using it as much as I did in the beta. I'm not really diving backwards, sideways, whatever. I'm sliding a lot and back sprinting a lot and things like that. And sprinting backwards is really cool. Like when you're running into a room, you see a grenade indicator, you immediately get the fuck out of there. It's really nice. And the weapons are nice. They seem more unique than the recent Modern Warfares. I feel like they actually have somewhat of a personality to them, and a lot of them are viable. I mean, the amount of weapons in this game are pretty average for a Call of Duty, so that also seems fine. And the camel grind, it's not something I've really done before, but I'm having a lot of fun. I'm pretty much have like 3 or 4 guns gold already, which is fun. And I don't really care about weapon leveling that much. I mean, I just use it to get attachments so that I can get the camos faster. I don't really see what's the point in like, oh, if all the attachments that I have left to get are just really, really like super scoped like sights, then I really don't care, especially if it's like an assault rifle. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to use a 5x scope on my AR. I guess maybe it's for Warzone, but then again, I don't give a shit about Warzone, so I see complaints that, oh, it's easier to get gold than it is to get max level. I'm like, well, I really don't care. So I guess it doesn't really matter to me. Now for the criticisms. The maps are not the best. There's a couple maps that I like. I really like Skylane, I like Subsonic, I like Payback, and the rest I could take it or leave it, to be honest. I really do hate Red Card and Lowtown, not because of their size, but just because the layouts are just so, there's so many places that you can hide, and it's not fun. I think it's obvious that these are taken from the next Warzone map. I mean, the Warzone map literally kind of like loads in when you play them, so it's just, there's too many doors, there's too many corridors. It's just like, it's not simple, which I really, really don't like. But I do like the vibes of it. I do like the music that's playing in Red Card is fun. I like that it's in a soccer stadium, football stadium for you non-Americans. But yeah, the maps just aren't super great. I'm looking forward to the fact that they're going to be adding Nuketown, the original Nuketown, tomorrow, and having a 24/7 playlist. That's going to be a nice palate cleanser from these dog shit maps. But I'm looking forward to see what other maps that they add in the future, because right now it's not that great. Then there's the maps in the face-off playlist, which I really like. Pit, I like Stakeout. They're really mindless, brain rot kind of maps. I mean, Stakeout, I literally okay, time to equip a shotgun and walk forward and do nothing else and just spam the trigger and get 50 kills and play the game every time. I mean, it's a nice dopamine hit, but it's just, it's insane. And then, I mean, Pit, I think is the best one because it's a nice mix of open space and tight spaces. Meanwhile, Warhead is just camper's heaven. It's awful. I spawn. I run to the right, I get sniped. Okay, I'm gonna run to the left this time, I get sniped. Repeat for 5 minutes until I hate myself. And then Gala is just like, oh my fucking god, I hate it so much. Because it's, okay, I'm in my spawn, okay, a guy just slid across and came to my spawn, and I'm immediately dead. And rinse and repeat for the next 5 minutes. It's not fun. The only time the Gala is actually tolerable is when me and my friends decided to just spam smoke grenades in every single face-off map. And Gala was actually tolerable because I could actually move around the map and not get instantly killed. It was nice. And to go along with the maps, the spawn logic is so awful. Now, some of the maps that were in the beta, the spawn logic is not as bad as it was in the beta. Like in Babylon, if there are enemies in the spawn rooms, then I'm not going to spawn there, usually. I mean, they can camp right outside of it and still come in, and just, you know, circle in and out, and I can still get spawn killed. But it's definitely not as egregious as it was. But the maps that weren't in the beta are honestly pretty bad. The amount of times that I've spawned right in front of somebody and killed them, the amount of times I've spawned right in front of somebody and gotten killed, it's unbelievable. And then you pair that, right, with the awful spawns, some of the awful maps, and the perk that you get when you run 3 blue perks at the same time, where you can see the outlines of enemies for 3 seconds when you spawn, and you can see them through walls. It's just not that needs to get removed. You can't have all 3 of these problems at the same time. It's unbelievable. I don't know who thought that perk was a good idea. It's dreadful. You're just like, okay, I'm gonna get pre-fired when I enter this room because someone knows where I am. They have wall hacks that are built into the game. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, but those 3 things are basically my main criticisms with the game itself. But then you pair that with the skill-based matchmaking algorithm, and it's just like, okay, well, now I have to deal with really MLG fucking pros if I even go positive in a match if I'm playing alone. But that's why I would advise playing with your friends, because then it's a lot less sweaty and it's more fun that way. Especially the objective game modes. I think the objective game modes make the maps flow a lot better. TDM just it's not fun. TDM and Kill Confirmed, or the spawns get absolutely screwed for some reason. But when you have objective game modes, I actually kind of enjoy these maps. Now, Search and Destroy is fun. I've played a lot more Search this year. Then there's a mode called Control, which is kind of a mix of Hardpoint and Search and Destroy, where you only have 30 lives, and you have to get 2, I guess I would call them hardpoints within the match, and that's fun. I actually enjoy playing that on Red Card, which is crazy. But yeah, overall, really mixed opinion. I'm still gonna play it. I hope that some of these issues get addressed, especially the netcode. I don't know what's up with the time to kill. Something seems way off, but apparently that happens with every COD at launch. So I hope that gets fixed, but something does seem off with that. If I can, you know, I dump a whole mag into someone and then I get shot with 2 bullets and I'm dead. But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's the best. Again, it's one of the best COD multiplayer experiences in years. The last one I really played this month was Black Ops 3, so it feels nice to have a good multiplayer shooter that I can enjoy with friends and actually get invested in the grind and leveling up my weapons, getting camos, and they didn't even add the battle pass yet, so that should be fun. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about the zombies. Now, I love this mode so much. I think Treyarch really cooked here. They took the criticisms of Cold War zombies to heart. It really is just a better Cold War in every single way. It's definitely not classic zombies, but it's different, but not too different. And it gives kind of the same challenge as classic zombies did. It adds a lot more. On higher rounds, I'm doing more instead of just mindlessly shooting at zombies. And the maps are cool. Liberty Falls is really cool. I do like it a lot. I know the community was really hating on it when it got revealed because it had no aura, but I don't care. It plays well. We've never had a zombies map that is just like, oh, it's right after an outbreak. What does that look like? And it's just really nice to play. And Turbinus has a great aura. I haven't played it as much because I'm just waiting to get my augments and everything leveled up, so I actually have a fighting chance on there. And yeah, no, the atmosphere on both of them is fun. The gameplay is fun. I like the progression. I mean, you can level up your weapons there really fast, and that carries over to multiplayer. And then it has its own camo grind with different gold, diamond, dark matter type camos, and honestly, they look better than the multiplayer ones. So that's so fun. There's a grind to zombies as well. There's a lot more. Like it just like it makes me want to keep playing it instead of just like, oh, what round can I get to? Now, the only criticism I really have of this mode is the amount of boss zombies that spawn in later rounds. It's utterly ridiculous that there are 10 manglers on my goddamn screen and like 3 abominations, especially when I'm trying to exfil. It's almost borderline broken. I feel like they need to tone it down a little bit. But, again, it makes it difficult to get to high rounds. I mean, the only way you can really cheese it is get a mutant injection and turn yourself into a mangler, and just keep doing that when you hit like level or round 30, and then you'll do pretty fine and deal with the boss zombies pretty well. So overall, Black Ops 6, I would definitely hop in and play it if you liked any of the previous Treyarch games, if you haven't played COD in a while. If you just enjoy Call of Duty in general, if you enjoy first-person shooters, you should play it, absolutely. If you disagree with anything I said, leave a comment. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. I think next I'm definitely going to be talking about something related to the election, my final election video. I mean, I'll probably do one after it as well, talking about the results, seeing what happens. But then after that, we don't have to talk about like modern day politics for a while unless something really big happens. It's going to be more abstract and talking about issues. I know the video I want to do after the election is over is talking about Halo Studios and the future of Halo and see where that goes. But until then, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.